This book changed how I see my dating life, or this book literally helped me to understand what exactly happens into the dating, or what exactly you should understand, or what exactly you should think about when you are into the relationship or when you get into the dating zone. So I read this book on the Kindle last week, and I used to think that this is a common or this is the modern problem that we all are facing. We all wanted to get into the relationship. We all want someone to take care of us. But what exactly happen when we are into the relationship? What exactly you should understand when you are dating someone? I have seen my friends, getting into the relationship, and I always thought that is it really necessary, or you should focus on your career, or what, because they used to fight over silly things. Some people used to fight over a little things, and I used to think that is it really necessary to waste this much time on this silly topic? And I always had this kind of question. But after reading the book How to Not Die Alone, which changed my perspective about how I see relationship or how I see the love life. So there are 5 lessons I'm going to share from this book that will help you to understand this topic in much better way. We all want, romantic kind of relationship. Because of the Disney, because of the books, romantic books, we all have changed our perspective. Lesson 1 from this book is what's holding you back into the dating. We all want relationship. We all want to get into some kind of relationship someday. But right now, if you are into the age of 20, 21, 22, what's holding you getting into the relationship? The problem, what I used to think that it's not necessary, it's not really important in life. But it's not hard to get into the relationship, or it's not hard to get into the dating life. But the problem starts after that you have to spend time into that relationship. You have to give time to grow that relationship. You have to put efforts to grow that relationship. And this is the major problem, that people don't go into the relationship because they don't want to put efforts. They don't want to put efforts to grow any kind of relationship. Everyone want romantic life because we all have seen into the movies, we all have read into the books, and that's kind of become our benchmark. But actually that doesn't happen into the real life. Like literally not 1% happen into the real life. So you have to understand that it's not going to happen into the real life, and what you have to find yourself actually, that what's holding you back when you want to enter into the dating life. The second lesson I learned from this book is learn your attachment style. We all have different kind of attachment style. You never know, or you never come across this term, but there are a lot of attachment styles available, and you have to figure out what is your attachment style. Some people are attached to the emotion, some people are attached to the having closeness, some people are attached to the just texting, some people love calling, some people love dating. So people are attached to the different attachment style, and you have to figure out what is your attachment style. Whether you are attached to the text, whether you are attached to the meeting in real life, whether you are okay with virtual, whether you are okay with long distance, whether you are attached to the closeness. So you have to figure out your attachment. I figured out my attachment style after reading this book. Obviously I'm not going to share because that's, I believe, kind of a private stuff that I don't want to disclose over this video. But you have to understand your attachment style. So there are few questions that you should ask, which is available in this book. First one, how comfortable you are with closeness. Second question, how anxious you feel about your partner. So these 2 questions will help you to understand what is your attachment style. There is a practical guide on the attachment theory that you can refer. I will put the link in the description, or you can check out the book. In this book they explain that attachment theory, what exactly is the attachment theory and how to cope up with that. There is one tip that in this book which says that if you are anxious, or if you are more attachment, then you should go for a secure partner rather than any other person. The third lesson I learned from this book is don't let perfect be the enemy of great. We always want perfect. We want perfect partner, we want perfect life, perfect salary, we want everything perfect. But there are high chances that in the relationship you will face, if you are looking for the perfect, you might miss the great. And that's the reason you need some kind of a benchmark. So how, when you meet some person, how you are going to decide that this is the person that I want to spend my life, or this is the person that I'm thinking that I should go with for the long term. You will always have this kind of question. That's the reason you need some kind of a benchmark. So if you are into the 2021, which what I am going to do that you have to meet a lot of people, you have to go on the dating with lot of different opposite gender, and you have to create your benchmark. Obviously every relationship is not going to work, every person is not going to be with you for the lifetime, but you will get some kind of a benchmark. Say you need this kind of person, you need this kind of person, and when you next meet at least this level, then you can always think about going into that relationship for the long term. So it's really important to understand, let the perfect be the enemy of great. Create your benchmark, go on dating, understand people, and create your some sort of benchmark. And after that benchmark, you can always decide whether you should go with this partner for the long term or not. Next, and my favorite lesson from this book is F the spark. We all believe, or we all from that background, that love at first sight, we should always believe in love at first sight and blah blah blah. But to be honest, it doesn't happen in real life. If you are into the love at first sight, there are high chances that after listening to them or after understanding them, you will feel like, okay, this is not the person that I want to go with. Literally, this happened with me a lot of time. I used to see them on the Instagram, I used to see them, but when I personally met them, I realized, okay, this is not something I'm looking for, or this is not something that I should go with. So it's really important that F the spark. Spark, it's something that you will never generate at the first time. You will generate that eventually, and there are different ways to generate spark. There is an exposure effect into the psychologically, which says that if you meet a person regularly, if you meet a person daily, or if you are going to meet a person weekly basis, then you will eventually going to create a spark. So if you love someone and if you find that, okay, love is not at first sight, but there are high chances that this partner is really good for me, then try to meet them daily, try to meet them weekly, and over the period of time you will generate a spark. The exposure effect says that the more we see something, the more we like it. So there are high chances that if you go and meet that person, if you go and try to build connection with that person, the more you see it, the more you like it. Take the example of college. There are high chances that you are with your friends, you are with any opposite gender, and the more you meet that person there, then you start generating or you start liking that person. I hope that this has happened with each and everyone who is watching this video. And if you see someone daily, then you started liking it, whether it is Instagram profile, whether it is a real life person, you started liking it. That's called a exposure effect. The fourth lesson I learned from this book is what really matters into the long-term life. Well, obviously you cannot cuddle for 24 hours, you cannot be with that person for the 24 hours. So if you are a kind of person who are possessive, if you are a kind of person who want closeness, then first remove that thing from your mind, because that's not going to happen. You cannot be with anyone for literally 24 hours. You are going to spend few hours with them, obviously few hours for the lifetime. But if you are thinking about this thing that you are going to spend 24 hours, then first remove that thing. You need to understand the difference between the love story and the life story. Love story is what you see in the movies, what you read in the books, and what is actually life story, which don't happen into the movies, which happen into the real life, where you need understanding, where you need exposure theory, where you need a people who will encourage you, who will motivate you, who trust you, and who are not that possessive. You need a person who will emotionally stable, who can handle your emotions, who can handle your kindness. So if you find this kind of person, or these are the things that is going to matter into the long term, but not the cuddling or not the 24 hours closeness, this kind of stuff. So make sure you change your perspective about how you see as a partner, or what are the things you should think about in the long term. The last lesson I learned from this book is lesson, or I will say probably trick, that how to meet more people into the real life. Obviously, because unless you meet more people, you will never get any kind of a benchmark, you will never get understanding how the human works. So it's really important to meet a lot of people from the different background, different career, and then you will get some kind of benchmark. But how to meet that people? Either you can go for the events, like go on the local events which are available different than your background, try to go there, try to build the connection. And it's all about taking the first step. It's not that if you're thinking that someone will take that first step, then it's not about that. everyone is friendly, everyone is friendly into the world, every human is friendly, but all you have to do is you have to take the first step. You have to go there, you have to talk to them, you have to build a relationship with them, and over that period you will realize whether that person is really good with you, whether that person is really good to talk to you again, or that I should meet that person again or not. But it's all about you have to take the first step. If I love someone or if I want to talk to someone, I will probably go and talk to them because I hate regrets and I literally don't want any regret in my future. So probably I will do that. First thing, you can go on the event, try the virtual dating. Second one, you can try the dating apps also, but I will not suggest because that's more about the hookup kind of a thing. But if you are looking for a real thing, then probably you should go for the event and try to meet different person from the different backgrounds. These are the 5 lessons which changed my dating life, or how I see the relationship, or how I see the love life. If you are interested to reading this book, there is a link in the description. Go buy this book. It's hardly 100 and 200 pages, which you can finish this book in less than 1 week. But if you're serious about it, if you are serious about dating, if you're serious about relationship, then you have to understand these lessons. Obviously there are different lessons, but I believe these are the 5 lessons that everyone should understand, everyone should read, and everyone should try to understand the modern relationship and what actually happened into the real life. So if you want more summary about this book, then make sure you join my newsletter where I share weekly articles, best of books that you should read and you should understand and take the lessons from it. If you're looking for the must read fiction books, then check out this video where I shared must read fiction books that will help you to understand different fiction character. And if you're looking for how to make money, then check out this video where I shared everything about making money. And that's all for the today's video. See you in the next one.